Why, hello there, lovely listeners and viewers. You have come back down the red rabbit hole. You'd been warned not to, but you did it anyway, so you kind of only have yourselves to blame. But here we are again. I am author NV Peacock, and also known as Nicky. And of course, with me is Lisa Shepherd. Lisa.
Maybe they frogged.
Maybe they
Maybe they
frogged
frogged
down.
here all week. Maybe they never left. I mean, that could be fair enough. So they could be hiding out behind the roots and under the carrots in the mud. Ah, like if you were frogging in the rabbit hole, you'd have to put the mud on, wouldn't you? And get like all.
Yeah, we'll go full on predator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready to frog off.
You're ready to frog off, definitely, because that's what we teased on the last episode. We're going to have
We
a frog off.
did, yes.
And of course, still with us and in good health, we hasten to add, is Gemma Rogers, who's been down here a week. Gemma, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm not as hungry as I thought I'd be actually. So
Oh, it's
you've got
carrots,
me well
isn't it?
fed. Yeah,
You're going to have
There's a lot
great
of fruit
vision.
and fibre left, though, isn't there?
There
Really?
is a lot of fruit and fibre.
Just keep working through it.
it's a bit dry.
It is a bit dry. Again, don't drink the coffee. So we were talking about Gemma's book.
We were. Well, I had a question from my non-author place of what you said you wrote domestic thrillers. What is a domestic thriller?
So a
In
domestic
particular?
thriller is basically it's set in the home, domestic as in family, as in husband and wife. Most of mine kind of fit that mold. They always have female protagonists. They start off sort of well I mean, I've written 12 books, so in the other books they're sometimes sort of righting wrongs, they're seeking justice, and I think my MO, I guess, from the start has been, well, what fascinated me when I started writing was how ordinary people can, especially a lot of my books have this kind of thing where you make one bad decision, one sort of snap judgment, and then your life just snowballs out of control. So it's something that can happen to me or you. I've got a book called The Feud, which is starts out of a road rage incident, which happens to me all the time.
Yeah, that definitely could happen to me.
So it's
No.
that,
Oh no, Gemma, you don't seem the type. You're so quiet and lovely. What the?
I'm quite nice until I get behind the wheel and there's someone in
Really?
a Land Rover that cuts me up.
Are you full on hand gestures and swearing?
Yeah, but do you know what? I get really frustrated because I always forget. Well, I don't forget where the horn is, but I think in that situation, I always want to like use the horn and beep them, and then I just don't. I think I'm too busy swearing out of the window or gesticulating.
Well, my
Yeah.
rule is if you make me break, you get the horn.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So if they've misjudged
In
it,
an
'cause sometimes,
emergency stop.
yeah, if someone kind of judges it right, they can kind of nip in front of you and things like that. And as long as it's not disturbed my pattern of, and I certainly don't go
Yeah.
fast at all. My kind of ruling is, it's a speed limit, not a speed target. So I tend to bumble along. So if someone thinks they can get in front of me, that's fine. But if I have to brake to let you do it, you're going to get the horn.
Yeah,
As
that's a
long as
good
they
one.
don't break your routine,
Yeah.
Nicky.
I'm not that bad.
As long as they don't mess with your routine, it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Deviate
I'll
from
be
the
the one pulling
plan.
in front of you, going, "I'm late for school run. Get away!"
Then why are you over here then?
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Get back to where you live. So Gemma, where did you start writing then? What was it? Was this the first genre that you wrote in?
No, so when I wrote the first book, and Boldwood, I accepted it, wanted to publish it. They wanted to put me, well, they did put me initially in Gangland, Because my thrillers, I mean, the first one, Stalker, it's really dark. It's about a really nasty, indecent assault, and it's about the victim trying to find, she's getting very little help from the police, and she tries to find this person herself. So yeah, because they were sort of dark and really gritty, they put me in Gangland, and the whole community are absolutely amazing. The Gangland authors are fantastic. I made some great friends, even though I kind of never really felt like I fitted really. Um,
You're in the firm
there's
now.
no drug wars in my books. There's no sort of East End, kind of, family feuds and stuff. So they kind of let me into their little club for a little bit. And then I think as the books went on, well, as I started writing more, and they were more kind of in the thrillers, the domestic thriller vein, I said to Boldwood, maybe we should look at because the branding's very different, the titles are all very different, the covers are all very different between Gangland and thrillers. And that thankfully they agreed with me, and luckily enough, the readers that I'd found initially sort of came stuck with me basically. So yeah, we had a little bit of a rebranding, a few title changes, cover changes. But yeah, here I am, like 12 books later. I don't know how that happened.
Blimey.
We're definitely finding out some things about you, Gemma, that I wasn't expecting. Didn't know you were a gang member. That you're in the firm. Yeah. Didn't you own road rage?
Got the
And
tattoos
I
to
don't want to
prove
mess with
it.
you if you do cut me up now in a car
Yeah.
because I know about your gangland
At least
connections.
you know I'll never beep you because
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
that's
find
true.
the horn.
Just you'd be
Just be
too
like,
busy gesticulating and calling up the big boss to say, "Hey, I've just been cut up." All right, we'll sort it, Gemma. Don't worry. It's all right, sorted. You're in the firm. You're in the family. Don't worry about it. We've got you.
oh gosh, yeah, that's what
Oh,
I need. I think
I
it is
quite like
lovely.
it. I think I'd quite like to be in a gangland genre if I was going to choose one to be in.
Oh, they are brilliant. I mean, I've read loads,
But
and
Martina Cole is one of the,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, is that the
she's
kind
like
of
the
genre?
queen, isn't she?
Mm.
Kimberly Chambers, um, Alex Kane's fantastic. Casey Kelleher's fantastic. Kerry Barnes.
Is there a
And
bit of a crossover there with the female protagonist?
Yeah, wanting to
Because
right
isn't
a
Martina
wrong.
Cole's a
yeah,
very
I think
female?
that's why they put me where they put me, because that's kind of how the books went, how my books kind of developed. But again, normally it's like turf wars and it's drug deals and it's they didn't, so they partly fitted, but they didn't fit the entire kind of genre. But yeah, people seem to, because it was directed at the gangland market, they accepted me and they liked them. I guess they were dark enough for them, even if they didn't have kind of, turf wars in them
Yeah.
and family feuds and stuff. So
And shootouts and a big
yeah,
boss with
exactly
Maltesers in
that.
his
Yeah,
cheeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of guns in my books, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not
I
Well,
until,
suppose
you know.
there's probably a difference in the audience who are going to read it, who might think to read. Because actually, probably Gangland, I don't know, and you could probably both correct me as authors if I'm wrong, but like that feels more male, like more male readers might be looking for a turf war or a gang shootout or something like that. Whereas when you say domestic, the feminist in me hates it, but you're probably more likely to find women would find that a nice place for escapism
Yeah, I
and to
think
get ideas.
think you would think, I mean, I would think that too, but to be fair, it was reasonably quite equal between the two genres. There's a lot of there's a lot of females, should I say, that read Gangland and eat it. They like devour it. Like they just can't get enough. You can't write quick enough. And then with the thrillers, domestic thrillers, I just still have, a reason. I mean, it's probably a bit more female dominated, but there are, quite a few male readers that yeah, I mean, I've never written a male main character. I almost feel like I don't know whether I could do it justice. I love writing male characters, and I wrote a book called The Good Wife, and it was about a woman who married a really controlling, horrible horrible guy. And I think out of all of the books I'd written, he was the most vilest character. And he was a scream to write, and he was just so awful. Um, but I mean, he wasn't the main character, and it's never from his point of view. I would never presume to know. I mean, they always say who knows what women are thinking, but I've got no idea what men are thinking really. I'm just kind of going with my gut feeling. So yeah, I think the divide is reasonably, probably more female dominated for thrillers. Um,
We need a dark escape, I
yeah,
think,
Mm.
as writers and as readers. I think we need to, yeah, sometimes, because I think women are oppressed within the world still, as much as we like to think we're not. I
yeah,
think, the
absolutely.
fact that the word domestic and, the female protagonists seem to go together
Yeah.
is a whole aspect of it. And the fact that, yeah, we might be the more likely to be the readers of that, but it's because we need a little bit of darkness. We need that nice, dark,
This is
gritty,
this
and
is the
it's why
problem
he's
today.
enjoyable to write, because you get to
Yeah.
be him for a little while.
Yeah.
And
And I was trying to create the most awful scenarios. There's a scene where he makes his wife bath bathe, should I say, in a bath of bleach. Um,
Oh.
yeah, he's a real dickhead.
I mean, if anyone's ever suffered from eczema, I think
Yeah.
that's something they used to suggest. I think that is a genuine
No.
suggested thing, but probably more of a Dettol bath than perhaps a
Yeah.
bleach. But
Yeah.
they do suggest a beach bath. They do, because
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it's a real
Oh.
thing, but
I
not
did
yet.
not know that. Crikey.
No.
That's me
No, no,
thinking
no.
it
They
was a
do.
punishment.
Well, well, listeners and viewers, we promised you a frog off
Oh
because
yeah,
Gemma's new book, which is out September 8th,
that's correct.
yep, and available on
La
all formats,
la.
yep, features frogging with a PH, just in case anyone hadn't listened to the first episode. I mean, if you haven't,
Yeah,
what you doing here, quite frankly? You
go
really need
back,
to,
because
yeah, go back and listen to the first episode, then come back to us at this time, and then you'll get the frog off. Hopefully with
okay.
a frog animation that Lisa will put together.
So
I
demanding.
know.
The
So
pressure.
demanding.
You don't ask, you don't get. So, Gemma, we are very competitive here down the Red Rabbit. Well, I'm competitive. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't really say for Lisa because I don't really listen to her.
just here.
So we've both got a
Just happen to
frogging
be
case.
here.
Yes. We've both got a frogging case. We're going to present them to you, and then you're going to tell us which one that you prefer.
Hey.
Okay? So here we go. So, Lisa, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, okay then.
Mainly
You.
because I don't want to remind our listeners, anyone who's still hanging around who hasn't listened to the first episode, don't go back now, because
They've
we have
gone.
already mentioned my case,
Okay.
which was our beach babe, our barefaced queen, Pamela Anderson, and the fact that she was frogged in her own Malibu beach home. I mean, poor Pamela in her Malibu beach home. So I've lost the date now. I think it was in 2002. So it wasn't that long ago. Was it in 2002? Yeah, no, 2001, sorry. In 2001, in her Malibu beach home, she was kind of, apparently this lady was there in her in the outhouse, like the pool house kind of thing. And it was only when Pamela saw her face in the window one day that she
Oh,
realized she was there. She was there about 3 or 4 days. She was only a young woman, about 27 years old, and she was homeless, and she was a really big fan of Pamela Anderson. Aren't we all? To be fair, I mean, is this Pamela's heyday? Was it like
Yeah,
yeah, was Baywatch still running in 2001, or
I
were we
think
on the
so.
reruns?
I don't
Or
know
maybe a bit of both.
because Friends made it popular again, didn't
I
they?
just feel old.
Yeah, wasn't there a reboot at some
There was
point?
a film, I think, with Zac Efron and
Oh,
The Rock, I
yeah.
want to say.
Yeah.
I don't think that was 2001 though, was it?
No,
Was
that
it?
was like,
No.
well, that wasn't that long ago. You probably
Yeah, I'm wondering at what point. Anyway, this lady, Christine Roth, was a big fan of Baywatch. Whether that prompted her to break into Pamela's home, I don't know. But she was getting access from the beach. So just, Malibu home by the beach with a external pool house. I mean, poor Pamela. I think she had the space. I think she just should have invited Christine in, really. But anyway, this lady was then living in the house, and I think at one point Pamela came home and found her in her bed wearing one of her iconic red swimsuits
Oh,
with
God.
a note that said, "I'm not a lesbian.
no.
I just want to touch you. I just want to touch you." So, I mean, I can imagine Pamela was a bit freaked out by that. The police came, but they couldn't find her at that point.
Oh,
So this
God.
was kind of one of those messing about with her things. Yeah, she was in the bed, and then but she'd left this note somewhere. I'm not entirely sure of all the details. She called security. Pamela called security, but they couldn't find her. And then I think a couple of days later, they did actually eventually find her and arrest her. And the police said, "Pamela, would you like your red swimsuit back?"
Oh no. You wouldn't.
And Pamela said, "No, I've already taken that hygiene bit out. Could you keep it?
Yeah.
Thanks." And there are different stories here. Some people say that she left it with the police. Other people say that she gave it to Christine. Just said you can keep it for Phrogging at my house. But she didn't want it back. But she did increase the security around her remaining
I
iconic red
bet.
swimsuit. Because actually, if she did give it to Christine or the police officer and they did pull that out of storage and stick that on an auction site, they'd make a mint, wouldn't they? That'd be worth a lot of money now.
Can't get my head around the mindset of like, you're struggling, you're homeless. I know. Let's like, go and visit the person. I'm the biggest fan of whoever. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah. See her
Hey,
running down a beach and you go, she's the one. Or maybe she really believed it. Maybe she was like, Pamela will save me. And
Yeah.
maybe she was like in the water struggling outside Pamela's home. Pamela didn't come out and run out and save her because obviously she's
she's not
not
really a
just that
lifeguard.
character. Yeah, she's not really a lifeguard. So she was a bit disgruntled by it all and decided she'd just move in and see if she could get the swimsuit on and the magical life-saving powers from it herself. But it kind of, and I am sorry, Pamela, if you're listening, because I'm sure you probably are, because I'm sure you're probably a big fan. Um, I don't mean to laugh at you, but and there's also a quote. So when she was on Piers Morgan's Life Stories, reflecting on the intrusion, she said, "Right, my dad came. There was a woman wearing my Baywatch bathing suit tucked in bed." So I think that's when the idea comes from that she was in her bed.
Oh,
Um,
grim.
yeah. And I do feel for Pamela because she lived, I think she had young children at the time as well, and it was just her and her young children in the house. But it also comes from having enough space to have somebody living in your pool house for a few days and not noticing that they're there. Guest
That's like
house or pool house?
luxury frogging, surely then. Because that's not
Yeah.
like
Mm.
crawl space. That's like a
Like five
whole
five star
house.
frogging, that
Yeah,
Well,
is.
there's a
5-star frogging.
Got a wardrobe in sight.
Well, oh, actually, see, I'm saying pool house. I'm not sure if it is a pool house or a guest house, but there's pictures online, and one, it's got nice glass sides, so you can literally see into the bed. So you can
Oh,
see right into this
my
place.
God.
But it's blinking beautiful as well. Like that's her outhouse, pool house, whatever. That would be a full-on house for me. I'd be quite happy with that to myself. So yes, luxury frogging it was,
Luxury frogging.
Christina. Christina is an absolute legend on the forums these days. After she served, I think she got sent down for about 6 years. So after she'd served her time,
Wow.
She's become a
did she get
celebrity.
sent down, or am I crossing that over? I might be crossing that over with other
Well,
stories.
again, that's another difference between the UK and the US. I mean, there's no pool houses really in the UK that anyone could frogging. I
Mm.
mean, the
Oh no,
closest
she.
thing we've said is like a wardrobe, and I think in the
Yeah.
UK, if you open
In
up a
shed.
wardrobe, you'd be like, oh no, Narnia. That's the
Yeah.
closest you'd get. I'm gonna have to battle a witch and make friends with a lion. I'll leave that.
I am going to correct it. She did not get 6 years. She was potentially charged with stalking, but she ended up just getting deported back to France. So she was French as
She was
well.
French, so she wasn't even a domestic frog. Oh my God.
No. She was one of these international froggers.
I feel like Trump should get behind that
Set the
somehow. Do you know
bar.
what I mean? Like,
Maybe
send
she
the
was just
froggers
like some
back.
sort of extreme frogger, like a legend on the forums. I'm going all out. I'm going to find the best place I can go to. And somebody else said, somebody went on her blog, like in your book, and said, dare you to put on the swimsuit. And she went, done.
Well, you
But I'm
would,
not a
wouldn't you?
lesbian. Let's just
Yeah,
get that out
I'm not a lesbian.
Not a
Just be
lesbian.
all
Dare you to
right.
touch her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to touch you. I
Aw.
just want to touch. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, this sounds really weird, but I wouldn't turn down like if I saw the red swimsuit, not that one, the one that she still has, the
You did on and
original. I'd
get
be
in her
like,
bed, Lisa. Come on.
I wouldn't get in a bed. No. Oh, I do love her though.
I don't know.
I do love her. I
A
love.
good siesta is always fun.
Well, actually, no, it's the beach house bed. Well, I'll put the
Uh-huh.
pictures online when this episode goes out. It's beautiful. I'd absolutely love to stay there. Yeah, I'd have a little snooze in that bed for sure.
Well,
Even if I was frogging, even if I was going to get deported, save me the cost of a flight home, wouldn't it?
well, I'm afraid, Gemma, mine is perhaps not as nice as Lisa's. I went dark with my frogging
Oh,
story.
excellent.
So brace yourself. I'm going to take you both back to 1986, right? And with a guy called Daniel LaPlante. You must have come across him in your research because he's everywhere for
Indeed.
frogging. He's like the frogging grandfather.
Yeah.
So Daniel LaPlante was dubbed at his school as the class creep. So that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about this guy. And he decided to ask a girl out. I think from what reading between the lines, he got a little bit obsessed with this girl. She was part of the Bowen family, and she went out with him once, as you do, because you don't know until you go out with someone what they're going to be like. And she realized he was a bit of a creep, and when he asked her to be his girlfriend, she said no, and thus began his crazy downward spiral into stalking / then frogging. So he stalked the family for a wee bit, and then he got into the house. Now from this point on, there's a couple of what I found very different stories. So there's like a Hollywood kind of version where he discovered that her mum had died, and so decided to pretend to be the mum in the house.
Oh,
So
God.
would leave messages in tomato sauce in places, and just like leave some of the mum's clothes out, move things. So almost the ghost, like the paranormal thing, like we discussed in the first episode that hopefully everyone's listened to by now.
Did they discover it because they went, Mum never had ketchup. She only ever
Well,
used
no,
mayonnaise.
Brown sauce.
Yeah, she was a brown sauce lady now.
she was a daddy's. No.
Yeah.
This is in the States, of course, where there's crawl space and things. So this is in America. But that bit didn't really happen to that degree.
Oh.
So that was the kind of Hollywood version of what happened. And then eventually they found him in the closet dressed in the mother's wedding dress with a hatchet. That was the end of the Hollywood story.
Oh.
However,
So that didn't really happen.
that didn't really happen. However, what did really happen, wait for it though, what did really happen, in my opinion, was so much worse. So much worse. So he'd been in there for months, in all these different, in the crawl space, in the basement, in the attic, wherever they had the room for it, and had been watching the girls. There was I think the two girls and a dad that was living there, and he eventually did get found. I think he did leave one message in tomato ketchup that was in the basement or something, saying come find me or something. And when the dad went looking, the dad found him in the closet. He wasn't dressed in the wedding dress. He did have a hatchet though, but he had a mask of condiments. So he did use mayonnaise and tomato ketchup, and he had like a clown mask, and had managed to like
find me. I'm the tomato man. Like what?
He's the condiment man.
I'm imagining, like, do you know when you used to go to an old chip shop and they would have the tomato-shaped dispenser on the table? Like a costume of that.
Oh no, he'd done it like all white face with red, but he'd like spiked his hair up with mayonnaise and stuff. Yep. And he must have looked like a fucking, like a nightmare.
Stank.
like a nightmare, but
Yeah.
in the daughter's closet. So they managed to get out, this family. They called the police, and the police couldn't find him. And they stayed in I think a local hotel for a couple of
Get
days.
some sniffer dogs.
Get some
Get
sniffer dogs.
get get
Well,
get Bert from the
they
other
did
department who has a burger every lunchtime. I'm sure he'll find him.
they did have a sniffer dog, but the sniffer dog was given the hatchet to kind of as a scent marker.
Not just a little tub of daddies. This
No.
way. Yeah.
And unfortunately, the hatchet was the dad's hatchet, so it had his smell on it, so it confused the dog. So the dog was a little bit useless, and I hate to say that because I think dogs are heroes in every crime scene.
Don't touch
But
him.
don't know,
Don't
I
hurt
know.
him.
Dogs.
Ever.
Don't hurt them. But yeah, it was just a very odd and horrible situation. But it and then descends into something even worse. So they do eventually catch him. They pull him out on bail, and his parents bail him out. And he does it again, but this time he does it to a pregnant lady and her two kids, and he kills them. So it, like I said, it descends. So he obviously had intentions to kill that family, the Bowen family, right from the start. We can tell that it just didn't work out for him, and that was his first attempt. On his second attempt, while he was out on bail, he did manage to do it, which was quite nasty. But yeah, so Phrogging gone wrong, I think, is more that one. But he is the classic. If you Google Phrogging, you're going to come up with Daniel LaPlante.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I read
sorry.
I read a lot of I mean, yeah, his story is it's horrific, absolutely horrific. I mean, it just goes to show, doesn't it, that you have an idea that potentially, yes, you might be breaking and entering, you might be stealing someone's hot water or electricity or Wi-Fi or whatever, but you don't actually want to hurt anybody. And then there's there's always people that will take it to the extreme.
Nth degree. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
always
scary.
there's always someone that ruins it
Yeah,
for
ruining it
everyone,
for
isn't it?
everyone else.
Yeah. And that was Daniel LaPlante, and he did that in the 80s. So again, it's certainly not a new phenomenon in that sense. It has been going on for quite some time. But it was just, I think for him, it was he'd done a lot of burglaries in his past as well, and he'd done a lot of that thing that we talked about, where he'd actually go in the house, not so much steal stuff, but move things around, or sometimes he'd swap stuff out. So like he'd swap someone's plates for his plates and things like. Do you know what I mean? So you'd think you would go like gaslighting.
It's like psychological warfare, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you'd think you were going mad. And he obviously quite enjoyed that. He enjoyed the power. I guess it was getting the power back from if he was just considered the class creep at school and his family life wasn't great. I mean, he did have a horrible upbringing. I mean, talking about like, children having dark pasts. He had a very dark past. He was abused from a number of people that should have been looking after him. But that's no excuse to go around killing people, you know.
Mm.
And yeah, I think it was perhaps taking the power back into his life at a key time in puberty, perhaps when he needed that power. But I'm no psychologist. We need to rope in another author for that.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder if he's like, there's something a bit ridiculous about covering yourself in condiments,
Yeah,
as we kind of pointed out. And I wonder if there's part of that that got him out on bail to go on and do it again. That's slightly, if his parents paid to get him out as well. And there's something slightly ridiculous and teenage and there's something a bit disarming, I suppose,
Prank.
about it because it's so daft. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think it just was to me probably ill planned from his part because he probably didn't realize the dad was there. He probably thought he was going to scare the girls, kill the girls, do what he wanted with the girls, then get out before the dad got back. But of course, it was the dad being there and could overpower him that stopped it in the first place, for them to be able to get out. So I think he perhaps just didn't plan it. Again, OCD, I tell you, to be organized, you've got to, it helps life. If you're organized, you
Break your routine though.
break your
Go home,
routine.
Dad. Go home when you're not supposed to be there.
Exactly. And you might stop a crime.
Keep your children alive.
But just to be in the closet with a hatchet and to leave those kind of notes. And I don't understand where the other version came from either, because it's a very Hollywood version of that he was pretending to be the mother's ghost.
But I suppose I reckon it's come from interviews with probably the daughters, thinking at some point, there's weird things happening. And you can be, if you're mourning somebody, grief is a really
Yeah,
odd
because you always want
odd
it to
thing,
be
but it
them.
can come in so many different
Mm.
ways, can't it? So you could feel like many people who are grieving will say, I feel like I see them everywhere, or I see signs of them everywhere, and you would cling on to those sort of things. So probably he exploited that
Yeah, and
to make them more vulnerable.
it did say they did like a Ouija board to contact their mum. However, I don't know which version that was part of, whether that was the reality or
Yeah.
whether that was the fantasy of someone online creating that. I don't know. But
Mm.
I can understand that to a degree. But and he committed a horrible crime. I mean, he killed a pregnant lady and two small children.
And two kids, yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
in
that's
quite, and I'm not going to get into how and what happened, but it was pretty horrendous. What you think happened with them. Let's just put it that way.
oh
Um,
back
but
back to the eunuch maker, thanks.
yeah,
For him.
for
For
him.
Daniel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
For
I'm
Daniel,
sure
yeah.
he got his in prison. I can
Let's hope so.
yeah, because I don't think prisoners take to child killers, and especially those that kill pregnant ladies. They
Yeah.
Oh
don't take to
gosh.
them very well, do
Yeah.
they? As we know. I mean, a lot of the kind of go back to your gangland with the craze and things like that. They were very pro women, pro children, and were not happy with anyone that hurt them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Get the gangland guys back on it. I suppose that's something. Did you come across that in your research at all, Gemma, about the actual sentence someone might get for frogging? Because actually, in all the cases that we've just talked about, so Christine got deported. I talked about that other one where he just got away and the lady never knew who it actually was. Daniel got off first time round, kind of, got out on bail, may have well been convicted for it, but was not thought to be enough of a threat to keep in prison,
Well, I
to
think
keep locked up for a bit.
the issue is, I mean, it's not technically, I mean, it is a crime, but technically there's not a crime listed for it. There's not a charge of,
Frogging.
frogging is
Would it be
illegal.
like
So, you
continued
know,
trespassing?
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be
you've got
trespassing,
sort
wouldn't
of
it?
trespassing, you've got breaking and entering. You could go, so when I did research and spoke to the police about it, there are ways that they can get them. I mean, the cases that you've said, obviously it started off with frogging, but then went into something, a lot darker. Even in both cases, she was stalking Pamela Anderson, obviously,
Mm.
but yeah, it would be quite difficult to charge. I
To
think if
actually
you were,
convict,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I don't think it would ever go to the sort of CPS. Um,
Whereas actually, if somebody burgles your home,
yeah,
that's really unsettling, isn't it? That you feel really violated by
yes,
something like
yeah,
that. Someone's been in your home. So thinking about not only has someone been in your home, they've been in your home while you've been there. They've been watching you, like that lady in the first case I mentioned in the other episode. If you haven't yet gone and listened to that, listeners, please go back and listen to that one. But that she never actually knew who it was, so he could still have spotted her out on the street, known things about her,
yeah.
Is that
came up
my
and
And
stroked the
he's,
puppy's head and said he got over that flooding incident, didn't he? Has he learned to
oh,
swim yet?
is
oh
that
Proper
God.
freak her out.
that my potential Mills and Boone frogging novel?
Yeah, yeah. But it is, yeah, it feels like it should have its own sentence,
Yeah, I
really,
just think
beyond.
it's not prolific enough here for
Mm,
them to create a specific charge for it. It has to be kind of tacked on to other things. But, I suppose if you found somebody in your home and you called the police and they were escorted off your property and nothing had been stolen and, yeah, you might
mm.
trespassing maybe, but, I don't know
Stalking?
what the,
I mean, would it be a case for stalking, do you think? Because they're obviously around you all the time, and you could,
Yeah, can you get a restraining order
yeah,
from somebody
yeah, I
who's
that
done
mean,
would
that?
stop them from coming back. And then if they
Mm,
did come back during the restraining order, then they would effectively be breaking the law. So it'd be
yeah.
one way, but you'd have to know who they were, and you'd have to catch them.
Mm,
And I suppose it's that real range of people. So we've actually, I suppose, across some of the cases we've talked about, and the protagonist in your book, Gemma, we've got, I think, the guy who saved the puppy, puppy saver, shirtless puppy saver, and your protagonist are actually people who are looking for somewhere to be safe, to have a roof over their head,
Yeah.
they're probably in a bad situation. And I think we were saying, oh, this has probably historically happened a lot more, but there's a lot of people living in vans at the moment, isn't there? There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that have been driven out their homes and need other spaces and places to go. And then you've got more of Christine and Daniel, who there's an undercurrent of something else going on there. So there's this real, like in life, a range of people who might engage in some frogging activity. And then, so yeah, you don't necessarily. Well, I don't know. If someone's been living in your home, regardless of what's prompted them to do it,
Yeah, I
living
mean,
in your
it's
home, using
definitely
your
not advocated
things.
for it.
No,
No, it's not.
this is
Gemma's not
not a
written the
frogging
guide to frogging.
promotional podcast. Yeah.
No, I mean, it would absolutely freak me out if it was
Wouldn't it?
in my home.
You
But I
couldn't stay in the
think,
same house.
yeah,
I don't think I could.
no, definitely not. But I
But
mean,
ironically, if it's done correctly, no one would ever know.
well, yeah.
Mm,
We could all be being frogged right
And
now.
that's the that's the intention of this particular character. She wants to cohabit peacefully without creating any impact whatsoever. So, I mean, she is, I suppose, in that sense, one of the good guys. She's not a weirdo as such. She just wants to live in your house for free.
yeah.
So Gemma, we had a frog off.
Yes.
Which frogging story do you think was the best? Which one would you have put in the book?
Well, as much as I love Pammy, and I do love Pammy, it's definitely got to be Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the first cases I read when I was looking into frogging, and yeah, it was. I agree, it's absolutely horrific, absolutely horrific.
To
So
me,
yeah,
it was more
darker
interesting
the
because it
better.
had been split up into fact and fiction.
Yeah.
You know, that people online had actually added to the story, that it was so interesting they'd taken it, and it was almost a creepypasta in a way.
Sensationalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I've just had a message from the ganglanders, though, Gemma, and you're out of the fold
Why have
because
I been
they're
booted
they're
out?
they're Pammy fans through and through, and they just think that would fit much better with their genre. Using somebody else's iconic swimsuit.
That is cracking though, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I mean, you would if you were going to live at Pammy's house.
If
What
you
else is
saw
there to
it,
do? Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
you saw
You
this red
go,
swimsuit.
could I fill it?
Yeah, you would absolutely. You'd put it on. You'd get a couple of buns from the kitchen,
Balloons.
and you'd put it on, and then you'd do a slow motion run through her house, wouldn't you? That is what no one could resist that.
I'm
I don't
surprised she
think.
wasn't caught in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beach. I mean, if you had access to that swimsuit, you'd wear it out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just wear it to bed. I can't imagine how could anyone fall asleep wearing a swimsuit in a bed anyway? I just don't understand that either.
People are
Oh
strange.
gosh.
So
Yeah.
much to unpack
Yeah.
there, isn't there?
Like we're coming full circle here, aren't we? That life is stranger than fiction.
Life is stranger than fiction. It really is.
Absolutely.
And now our time is up, unfortunately. I'm not saying that in a creepy way, obviously. I'm saying it in a more our time is up.
Your
Viewers and
time is
listeners.
up because the family that you're frogging have just come home,
Yeah.
haven't they? And you've got to get back up in the loft.
I'm already in the loft.
Oh,
Why do you
okay.
think I got like this funny background?
Yeah. We can't reveal where we really
Can't
are.
reveal where we are, no. And Gemma's clearly in the woods, as we can see. So
Yeah.
she's in a cabin in the woods, probably starting her own horror film.
It'll be dark. It'll be gritty.
There's somewhere
It'll be
else
good.
you don't want to frog, isn't it? The cabin in the woods with the
Oh, God.
Necronomicon and
Oh gosh.
Definitely not.
yeah.
I think that scarred me for life, that movie, when I was very young.
Did you? It was like, why read from the book? Why would you do that when you're deliberately told not to? Don't do it. I'd
It's one
be
of the rules,
very
isn't it?
yeah.
Don't read from any books. Don't have sex.
Yeah.
Don't wander off by yourself.
Don't wonder if and it's like all of these films have rules and yet they're all broken. I would
Yeah.
stop. I'd be in the most boring horror film ever because it'd be
Well,
like,
yeah.
don't read from this book. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Down it
The
goes.
end.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen unless you break the rules, unless you do something you're not supposed to. There's no story there.
There
Doesn't
isn't much of a
happen.
story. Yeah. Well, ladies, should we go camping in the woods by that lake where all those teenagers got killed? No, let's go to the spa instead.
Okay.
I think we all deserve facials.
Not with
All the mud
condiments.
from our,
All the mud, yeah.
our camouflage on for frogging down the rabbit hole.
So, Gemma, where are your books? Well, I mean, you've got a lot of books, but your latest book will be available, I'm assuming, from all major outlets.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to say I'm in supermarkets, but I'm not. So it's
That's
your
very
usual
overrated anyway,
retailers.
Gemma. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can order it into Waterstones for you. They are in a couple of Waterstone stores, but mainly local to me. So Amazon, like Kobo, anywhere and everywhere, and you can order them online. So.
And you said it's audio as well, so it's on
Yes,
Audible.
yeah. So yeah, the
Ooh.
audiobook will be out at the same time. My narrator is the amazing Imogen Church, um, who I absolutely adore. So yeah, it'll all be out on the same day, and obviously you can get them from your library as well.
Of
Got to pick up
course.
the libraries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't forget the libraries.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed.
we've obviously going to let Gemma out so she can carry on her frogging ways wherever she
Set you
wishes to be,
free.
set you free into the world to frog along. So many frogs.
Wherever you choose to frog, that's your home.
And there's the
Oh
soundbite for
dear.
this episode.
Yes.
Oh, so many.
Again, just got that out of forums. That's the
No,
motto of the frog forums.
frog form. So do remember that we are on TikTok, so you can follow the Red Rabbit. We're on Instagram, Facebook,
Facebook,
YouTube, and here, wherever
YouTube.
you're listening to, we're here, as
Yes,
you've
we're
discovered.
here. Well, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. So do enjoy, do subscribe. It costs you nothing to press that little button, give us that little thumbs up, but it means the world to us. So do keep following, and then you'll know when the next episode comes out straight away.
You will.
And you can listen to it in that very moment if you're
And
not busy doing other things,
support
as
our
you say.
craziness and our author abducting ways.
Indeed.
So thank you ever so much, Gemma. We're going to include some links in the show notes so people can buy the books and any author links as well that you want including down there.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a blast.
That's no problem. We've
Thank
had
you so much.
so much fun frogging.
Yeah, so much fun.
Converted you.
We are, yeah. Do you know, I like, does it make the bucket list? Maybe. I have to write a very detailed plan to do it, but I think I could.
Things to do before you die. Go
Yes,
frogging.
go frogging. Definitely. Well, you never
In
know where
Pamela
we'll
Anderson's
frog.
pool house.
Well,
Well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was thinking
that's
that.
where I'm going. If I'm
that
going
sounds
somewhere,
like the
that's where
place
I'm
to be.
going. Yeah,
I
You
yeah.
have
look,
to have more than one swimsuit anyway.
Yeah.
yeah,
Your
I would
turn.
look great in
No,
that swimsuit.
the other one's on lockdown now.
Oh
Okay.
After
no.
the first one got infiltrated, it's now, yeah, glass
Yeah.
cabinet,
Oh.
tripwires, all of that sort of thing. It's like Mission Impossible to get to. Not that I know or have tried,
So
honestly.
what you're saying, Lisa, is it's now a heist log.
Yes, it is. It's heist for a swimsuit. I have no evidence of that. Just that she
I'm
put it
in.
under more security. After the first one went missing, she put
Damn it. I'm
the
in. Let's
remaining
do
one
it.
under better security. Thank you for listening, listeners. Thank you for sticking with us, and we'll see you next time.
See
Back
you next time.
down the Red Rabbit Hole.
Bye bye.
Bye.